Hi everyone, for our St. Mel moment. You can tell my mountain bike riding was successful, no injuries. Hey, today is a beautiful, beautiful feast for our Catholic tradition, the Feast of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus. It's a beautiful solemnity that just really draws us into the intimacy and the love of God. Standing before our Sacred Heart of Jesus statue, which is normally our big statue of Jesus, but as you can tell, it's being restored. So we have a miniature Sacred Heart of Jesus. And you think about it, it's really not the size of the statue, it's the power of God's heart and love for you. In the gospel reading today, Jesus says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God. Come to me, all who labor and are burdened, and I'm going to give you rest. Take my yoke and learn from me, because I'm meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourself." What a beautiful message that Jesus has for each one of us. Come, let him take our problems, our burdens, and he walks with us. The yoke that we are balanced together, walking with Jesus. One of our wonderful, wonderful parishioners, Marlene O'Neill, had this beautiful image of Jesus in her room, and before her soul went home to God, and Erin, her daughter, and Jim, they gave this to St. Mel. It's just a beautiful, beautiful picture of the joy of Jesus, the love of Jesus. So on this St. Mel moment, let Jesus smile down upon you. And if you're carrying anything right now, turn it over to Jesus. One of the gifts he gives to us in the big heart, the gift of our Father. And as we're coming into our Father's Day weekend, now we're going to hear from our amazing Monica Matthew and her kids on how she loves her father, and the kids love Jeff. God bless you. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you this Sunday at our Father's Day Mass. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Monica Matthews, and I was asked to think about lessons that I have learned from my dad. There have been so many lessons that I've learned from my dad, so it's hard to sum it all up, but there is one story that I think kind of grabs just some of the lessons I've learned from my dad, and that is when I was 16 and I was learning how to drive a stick shift car. And I was pretty good, but sometimes I didn't get the clutch in and I would stall. And I remember there being a few times where we were in the middle of a busy intersection and I needed to turn left, and I stalled right in the middle of the intersection and the light changed red. And there were cars behind us honking, people yelling, pedestrians wanting to know when they should be crossing, and it was very, very stressful. And my dad was just next to me, and he said, "Don't listen to all that noise. Just take a deep breath and focus on what you need to be doing at this moment." And for me, there was a lot of comfort in that, just knowing that no matter what, my dad was going to be right there. And he was a kind of a calming element. But it also kind of bridges over to my experience of who God is. And that experience that just calm down, take a breath, and know that you are loved. And so I thank my dad for kind of teaching me that in many, many moments in my life, and especially when I was driving at 16. And so now some of my kids would like to just share what they have learned from their dad.
My dad taught me to never let fear get in between you and a great opportunity. Thanks, Dad.
My dad taught me how to be respectful.
I love everything about my dad. Daddy, I love your really good meals fresh from the garden.
My dad taught me to be careful with glass and babies. Now remember, kids, be very careful.
We love you, Dad.